Welcome, everyone, to another Passion interview with the Linn Academy. We're very excited today to have our special guest, Felicia Messina-D'Haiti, for many reasons, and I'll get into that in just a moment. She's going to be talking to us today about clutter and manifesting. Very powerful combination. But what I wanted to just first talk about is the Linn Academy. For those who don't know, the Linn Academy is a school that covers off on a broad kind of swath of kind of inner work, inner courses, all in the kind of effort to help us all to connect, to better understand kind of ourselves, to heal, to really help us to be in a place where we are our most authentic selves. The Linn Academy was originated by Denise Linn. Denise Linn has written many, many books on Feng Shui, space clearing, clutter clearing, dream interpretation, and so much more. She's an amazing individual who has founded this school and has done the certifications for the various programs, whether it's interior alignment, which is Feng Shui and space clearing, clutter clearing, oracle cards. There's a Red Lotus School. There's also a Dream certification as well. So all of these programs that she originated based on her background and kind of learnings and knowledge that she's gained traveling the world and meeting with various cultures and seeing how all these different cultures around the world are using these kinds of activities to improve their lives, to heal, to make a better place in this world, which is really what we're trying to do with the Linn Academy, is make the world a better place. So if you want to learn more, you can go to thelinnacademy.com. But what I'd like to do now is talk to Felicia. So Felicia, just to give you a little bit of background on her and part of my reading, Reverend Felicia Messina-D'Haiti is a multifaceted Feng Shui and soul coach practitioner and trainer, award-winning educator, speaker, and contributing author of several best-selling books. She supports people in clearing physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual clutter to create lasting transformation. Chosen by best-selling author Denise Linn as the master teacher of the Linn method of clutter clearing, Felicia blends her intuitive gifts with advanced certifications in interior alignment, Feng Shui, and space clearing, soul coaching, Usui Reiki, clutter clearing, and intuitive coaching to guide clients toward deeper self-discovery and personal empowerment. Her passion for shifting environments began in childhood and evolved into a lifelong mission of helping others align their inner and outer worlds. Felicia works internationally with individuals and groups, both online and in person, offering personalized services, workshops, and professional trainings in Reiki, Feng Shui, space clearing, and clutter coaching. Her compassionate and insightful approach has made her a trusted mentor, teacher, and transformation guide to many. Thank you, Felicia, for being with us today. Really glad to have you.
Thank you, Bill. I'm excited to talk to you this morning.
I love it. So I know you're going to be talking about clutter and manifesting, and I wanted to give people the opportunity to learn a little bit more about how this all started for you. How did you get involved in the Linn Academy? How did you connect with Denise? Why don't you share a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, it seems like a lifetime ago, but it was, I guess, 18 years ago, that I was at a retreat, and the facilitator of the retreat asked us to make a list of all the things that we like to do.
Mm.
And so I made this list, and it had, things on it. Let's see, like photography, color, art, architecture, astrology, yoga, and some other things. And she's like, combining all those things together will, show you what path you need to go on. And I'm like, I don't know about that. But afterwards, I went home, started doing research on the internet and searching for different like combinations of the things on my list. And one thing kept popping up was this like interior alignment.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, what is that?
Mhm.
Because at that point, I'd never really heard of feng shui. I didn't know it was a thing. um, and so the more research I did, the more this school kept coming up and Denise Linn's name. And I'm like, oh, who's this Denise Linn? So I started getting some of her books and reading. And I was just like, oh, this is perfect. And then I saw in the back of one of the books, it mentioned the School of Interior Alignment. And I'm like, oh, there's a school. um, so then I started contacting different teachers, and it just so happened that the weekend or leading up to that week when I was contacting the teachers, they were all at a conference together. And so I was getting voicemails or, no contact back. And then finally I talked to one of the teachers and she's like, oh, we were all together at a conference. um, and she told me that when I find the right teacher, I'll know.
Hmm.
So I found the right teacher for me, and that was Luann Civic.
Hmm.
And so I trained with Luann in interior alignment, feng shui, and space clearing, and that kind of gave me the start to my journey with the Lynn Academy. And I think I've taken every class
I don't
that's
think
been
you're alone,
offered
but
since.
there are several who just they can't get enough. There's so much to learn with the Lynn Academy. So, well, that's an amazing story, of course. And I guess I'm curious when you kind of bring all those things together, and now you're focused on clutter and manifestation. Can you tell us a little bit about, you know, what is important about clutter and how is it tied to manifesting, and how do you work with that kind of those concepts together?
So clutter is represents blockages.
Hmm.
So anytime that we are trying to manifest something, we have a goal, intention, whatever it is that, we are focusing our energy on, when we have clutter, it blocks, it creates challenges for us, blockages, and it's really, so for example, if I have a goal of, or I want to manifest better health, but all the things in my house are telling me, don't exercise, or here's a bunch of junk food, or, like if the things that I'm surrounding myself with are the opposite of what I want to manifest,
Mhm.
I'm working against myself
Mm-hmm.
in manifesting that goal. Um,
And so when you're working with people, or when you're looking around your home, I guess is there any advice you have for people in terms of, well, how do I know what is clutter and isn't clutter? Because I think a lot of people think of clutter as, oh, got a big pile of papers,
mm.
or so why is it important to understand kind of what clutter is in your home?
So I think it's important to start with what is your intention?
Hmm.
And so once we have our intention, then take a look around the home and see what things are not in alignment with that intention or what things contradict that intention. And that will help us to understand what clutter is. Because, as you said, clutter can be piles of stuff, but then sometimes it could just be things that we're holding on to, old books or I don't know, 50, I was thinking 50 spoons that you don't really need cluttering up the drawer.
Right.
um, or just things that represent your past or holding on or just not opening up space for whatever it is you want to manifest. Because if we're moving in a new direction, but we're
Mhm.
still holding on to all these things that represent the past or um, feelings about ourselves that are not positive, like all those things kind of pull us away from reaching that goal.
So how, when you're working with clients, maybe even working with in your own life, how have you really helped people, or what is the way that you've seen people make breakthroughs in terms of looking at their clutter, making changes, and then being able to manifest? Is that how do you help them to kind of go through that process and really make a shift in their lives?
So, first, we always start with an intention.
Mhm.
And sometimes, people aren't really aware of, a specific intention. So
Right.
we always focus, so then we focus on what is the feeling they want to have when they walk in their home.
Mhm.
So if it's a particular, more joy, more love, more abundance, like whatever that is, focus on that. And then just going room by room and seeing which, are there items in this space that kind of bring your energy down or don't make you feel good about the space or that really are in opposition to what you're trying to manifest.
Mhm.
And it can be it doesn't, it's not a fast process necessarily.
Mm.
There was one client that I was working with for months, and there was one room that she wanted to actually wanted to combine that room with the master bedroom and tear down the wall and make it, a huge room.
Sure.
And she was having a lot of challenges getting rid of the clutter in that space.
Mm.
And, we did some meditations and guided journeys, and it finally occurred to her that that room was originally supposed to be a nursery
Oh,
for a baby that she had lost.
mm.
And so she was not consciously aware of that,
Hmm.
but it was, the feelings that she had suppressed and the memories that she had suppressed were keeping her from moving forward in that space.
Hmm.
And then once she brought that up, and we did some exercises, more meditation, and a lot of reflection and journaling,
Mm.
and she was able to move forward in clearing that space and manifesting her larger, more luxurious master bedroom.
Wow. What an amazing story that is. I mean, that's so powerful for people to, really not even realize why they're having trouble with the clutter. And then suddenly it becomes this big aha, or however you want to frame it, moment. Wow, that's powerful stuff. And so for those people who might be just getting started with clutter clearing, or trying to figure out, well, I've got a garage I can't even look at, but is there somewhere else I can start to get things going? What would you recommend for them to just get started with clutter clearing?
I always recommend starting in the bedroom,
Mm, okay.
because the bedroom represents our innermost self and should
Mm.
be a reflection of self-care
Mm-hmm.
and rejuvenation and rest.
Mm-hmm.
And, start with the easy stuff in the bedroom. So look at the surfaces, maybe if there's stuff hiding under the bed. um, Start with some easy things and then maybe move on to more. If you have a lot of sentimental things, maybe hold those off for later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you find in working with people that there are similarities between people who are resistant to clutter clearing, or just having some challenges? Are there similarities, or is it all pretty unique to an individual?
Hmm. There are some similarities in that a lot of times people just don't know where to start.
Mm.
Or they think of it as a whole, like, oh, I have to clear my whole house this weekend. It's like, no, that's not going to happen. So they overwhelm themselves by just thinking of like the whole project all at once.
Mhm.
So breaking it down into little bits and pieces works for most people. Um, and then just having a plan so that you
Mm.
know where you're going to move and what you're going to do next. There are also components that are unique to people, because there are general reasons why we all keep clutter, but there could be very specific reasons to a person's experience,
Mm.
and their experience with their families growing up and their life experiences that
For
may
sure.
cause unique challenges.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's one of the things I appreciate about the Lynn Academy and the Lynn method of things, which is, we're all treated as individuals, and we have unique aspects to ourselves and our lives. And while, to your point, there are some general things to always address, but I think it forces us to go deeper when we work with these kinds of modalities and things, which I really appreciate. Um, one thing that I have found, and I'm curious what your thought is I'll start clutter clearing, and I'll feel good, great, and then 3 months later I'm like, wait a minute, I cleared that 3 months ago. So I get into this cycle of, okay, it's an ongoing process, or it's just there's something there that keeps coming back for me. Is that pretty common, do you think?
I think so, yes. Happens to me too. I'm like, I thought
Phew.
I just went through this. um, so usually when that happens, for myself or for, working with clients, what we do some looking at like what area the home it's in, because
Mm,
sometimes that gives us hints to the energy that is present in that space and why are we blocking that energy from our in our lives,
mhm,
and what other like in what other ways are we blocking energy in our lives. So
mm,
if it's in the career area of your home or the abundance area of your home, like what am I, what's going on in my mind that I'm creating blockages in this area of my life, because every all the clutter starts with what's our mindset and
mm,
what's going on,
mhm.
mindset, emotions, what's going on within. It's an expression of that.
Sure. So you touched on areas of the home, and there may be some people who aren't familiar with Feng Shui and the Bagua map. Can you just give a quick kind of overview of how do you figure out the different areas of your home?
Sure. The Bagua map represents different energy, different life energies, different energies in our home, and it's kind of like a tic-tac-toe board that you can place over the map of the floor plan of your home. And for example, the abundance area is in the upper left-hand corner. So if you're facing your house, facing into your house, the abundance corner is always in the upper left-hand corner. Um, and so if you look on the internet, there's Bagua everywhere. um, but if you find that there's clutter that keeps coming back in one of these 9 areas,
Mhm.
then it like really take a good look at what's going on in my life in that area. Is it my relationships or, helpful people, travel, health? There, it could be all different things that the clutter is related to.
For sure. And so it just goes to show kind of the layers that are involved in clutter clearing, right? Because there's so much involved, not just your intention and your mindset, but if you look at your home, there are things being told to you by your home, and it helps you to kind of focus. So it's just an amazing work. And another question for you. I know you're starting a Lin Method clutter clearing certification program. And so I wanted to ask you about that a little bit too, just in terms of, is that something that, is right around the corner? Is it something that you feel is uh, uh, transformative in ways that people may not even be aware of? I'm just curious, kind of, what is that certification program going to be doing for people who want to take that? Because I think it's a fascinating program.
Yeah, I'm really excited to finally be offering the class.
Mhm.
So we're starting September 20th
Oh,
of this year.
mhm,
And what the course will do is so it's a 9 month certification course. And the first, let's say, half or so,
mhm,
we will be working on our own homes and our own mindset and kind of looking at all the aspects of the Lin method of clutter clearing. So, guided journeys and setting intentions, and then clearing all different areas of our homes. And so, the people who participate in the training course will first have an experience of
mhm,
what it's like to go through the coaching themselves and clearing their own homes and seeing what comes up for them.
mhm, mhm.
And so that alone is transformational.
Sure.
Uh, but then the class will turn to how do you work with clients and kind of setting up your own coaching business to work with clients and support others in clutter clearing their spaces. And um, when I say spaces, I mean, physical spaces, but also mental, emotional, spiritual spaces, so that we can create transformation in our lives, and our homes can be a better reflection of who we are and what we desire to bring into our lives.
I love that. I think this is especially a powerful course nowadays. I think where people just,
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, and I think the more we're able to connect in that way and better understand and ground ourselves through our homes and through clutter clearing, it's amazing. So excited about that program. So looking forward
Yeah,
to
me
it. You said
too.
September
20th. So we're
20th.
starting around the equinox.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. So what's the best way if people are interested to for people to reach out and learn more about that or you or one-on-one sessions, whatever it is you would like to offer?
So the best way is to go to my website, to,
Hmm.
www.feliciadahaiti.com. And on the website, there's a couple of free gifts for
Oh.
people. One is called Clutter Clearing for Abundance. So
Mm.
it gives PDF, meditation, and some journaling questions for starting with clutter clearing.
Mm.
You can make appointments with me there, and you can sign up for. So the website is for the Lynn Method Clutter Clearing certification will be ready by, let's say, mid-July,
Mm.
mid to late July. So in the meantime, people can sign up for the VIP notification list also
Oh.
on my website, and then they'll get first notice when the website is ready to go.
Oh, that's brilliant. Love that. Well, this has been an amazing time. I so appreciate, Felicia, your time, your expertise, and your sharing. Always illuminating and always so well presented, I have to say. It feels like we're just coming into your home whenever you speak. So thank you for your time today. Is there anything else you wanted to share on clutter clearing or anything else before we wrap it up?
Um, I don't think so. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate this time with you and sharing the message of having clear homes. Um, so yeah, thank
Well,
you.
perfect. Of course. Thank you. Looking forward to doing this again sometime. And for those who are listening, thank you so much for being here. Again, go to FeliciaDehaiti.com to find more about Felicia and the Lynn Method Clutter Clearing Certification Program and other great services that Felicia offers. And if you want to learn more about the Lynn Academy, lynnacademy.com. Thank you, everybody.